Ida and the Three Visitors, the true story of missionary Ida Scudder. Hello, my name is Ida Scudder, and I never wanted to be missionary. A missionary is someone who shares God's love through their actions and words. Sounds exciting, right? Well, not to me. I was born in India, a land bursting with color, bustling markets and beautiful people. I was a place of endless wonder, but I didn't always feel that wonder. I was born into a family of missionaries. My parents were missionaries in South India. They helped people who were sick and taught everyone about God's love. Ida, my mother, would say, "Will you help me feed these children? Food has been hard to find and they are so hungry." I handed out food with my 5 older brothers, but it made me feel sad. Why did I always have enough to eat but others didn't? How could I really make a difference? I often dreamed about living in America, far away from India. My family needed some rest, so we sailed across the ocean to America. My new home was on a farm in Nebraska. I loved riding my horse through the wide open fields and breathing the fresh country air. But the time came when my parents decided to return to India. I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to be a missionary. When I was 13, I moved to Chicago and lived with my aunt and uncle. I missed my family, but I was glad to be in America. 4 years later, my uncle told me, "Your aunt and I are going back to Japan as missionaries." I moved to Massachusetts and attended Northfield Seminary for young ladies. I was 17. I loved the school and I loved learning. I also loved playing practical jokes on my friends and teachers. I was always up for an adventure and I loved making my friends laugh. I had made up my mind. I was not going to be a missionary. I was not going back to India, but an unexpected telegram changed everything. "Come immediately, your mother is ill and needs you." So I packed my bags and sailed back to India. In India, the sights, sounds, and smells rushed to meet me once again, and so did the feeling of helplessness. The sick, the hungry, and the poor were still there. I cared for my mother, helped with chores at my parents' mission school, and traveled with my father, giving medical care and teaching about Jesus. As my mother recovered, we spent many afternoons sipping tea on the porch. I was grateful for those times together, but I really wanted to go back to America, where no one needed my help. Then everything changed. One evening, I heard footsteps and a knock on our front door. An important Hindu man called a Brahmin bowed before me. "May I help you?" I asked. "Yes," he said, "my wife is giving birth to our child, and she needs help. I heard you came from America, and I thought you could help her." "I'm not a doctor," I said. "I can't help her, but my father can. He's a doctor, and he will help your wife." But the man shook his head. "I believe that another man cannot see my wife like this. Even if he is a doctor." He disappeared into the night. Later, I heard more footsteps and another knock on the door. Hoping the Brahmin had returned, I opened the door to someone else. "Salam, madam," he said. "May Allah grant you peace." This time it was a Muslim man with the same request. "My wife is having our baby and needs your help." So I turned to get my father. Once again the man shook his head. "A man cannot enter the room of a woman. Only her husband can." He bowed and left. For the third time that night, there was footsteps and a knock on the door. Another Hindu man stood before me. "Hello, my friend. My wife is giving birth and he is very sick. Will you help her?" This time it was my turn to shake my head. "I don't know how to help you. I'm not a doctor. Sorry to bother you," he said, and steadily walked home. I couldn't sleep thinking about the three women who needed help that night. But I wasn't a doctor and there wasn't a female doctor in the village. How could I really make a difference? I felt helpless. But in the morning I knew I could do something. I prayed, "God, if you want me to, I will spend my life in India helping women who need care." I decided to study medicine back in America and return to India as a doctor. With the help of the Women's Board of Foreign Missions, I raised enough money to study at the Women's Medical College of Philadelphia. When a Cornell Medical College in the New York City began accepting women, I studied there and granted with their first class of women doctors. I knew that God had big plans for me. I was asked to build a hospital to care for women in Vellore, India. 2 years later, we opened that hospital for women in Vellore. It was called the Mary Tabor Shell Hospital. I worked at the hospital, traveled to villages, set up roadside clinics, and helped those who needed care. We opened a nursing school and a medical college that trained women how to be nurses and doctors. This college became the Christian Medical College, producing some of the best doctors, surgeons, and scientists in all of India. Just like God has a plan for my life, God has a plan for your life. God is preparing you for something only you can do. When you see someone who needs help, be brave and act. When you show God's love by what you do and say, you are a missionary too.